What are the top 3 reasons because of which landlords lose in court? Reason number 3. Landlords don't follow the procedure that is prescribed under law. Think of it like you're baking a cake. Let's say, for example, a recipe in a cookbook asks you to bake a cake for 30 minutes. You can't just decide halfway that through 15 minutes you'll just bake the cake and expect the cake to be fully done. Similarly, the law prescribes a particular process when a landlord is trying to evict a tenant, and it is important that the landlord follows the particular process. So let's say, for example, that there is a registered lease deed, and the lease deed says that if the tenant does not pay rent, what the landlord has to do is he has to issue a notice of 2 months and then give a grace period of 15 days, and even then if the tenant does not pay, then the landlord can terminate the lease. In such a case, if the landlord just rushes to court without waiting for that particular period after issuing a notice, then the court is going to say, look, you did not follow the terms of your own registered lease deed, much like following the recipe for the cake. So it is important that you follow procedure. Let's take another example in case of an unregistered lease deed. In that case, you need to issue a notice, wait 15 days before you rush to court. If you don't wait for that particular period, you will lose. It is important that you follow the timelines that are prescribed. Reason number 2, why landlords lose in court is because they don't have the proper paperwork. They don't know what is the rental amount that is due, what is the rental amount that was paid. They don't know if it was paid in cash, if it was paid through a bank statement. Let's say, for example, that the rent for a particular month is 10 rupees. And let's say in month 1, the tenant paid only 5 rupees. And there is balance rent of 5 rupees that is payable for month 1. In month 2, the tenant pays 15 rupees, which 10 rupees is for month 2 and 5 rupees carrying over the balance for month 1. Then let's say for months 3 and 4, the tenant does not pay at all. On month 5, he pays another 10 rupees. In month 6, he pays another 4 rupees. So the landlord will have to calculate at the end how much money is actually due from the tenant. I am surprised in many cases landlords don't even know how much money is due from these tenants. And if the rent was paid in cash, does the landlord have cash receipts? What is the proof of payment? So if landlords don't have the proper paperwork in place to support their claim for pending arrears of rent, in that case, relief will be refused to them by the court. Reason number 1 why landlords don't succeed is because they don't take the proper legal arguments. I mean, in terms of just basic fundamentals, landlords have to argue that number 1, that there was a landlord-tenant relationship between them. Number 2, that the tenant is not paying rent, and number 3, that a notice has been issued, and number 4, that they have waited for the relevant period and still the tenant has not left the property, he has not vacated the property, and that he has not paid rent. Now these are just the basics. There are other things that need to be pleaded depending upon your facts and circumstances. A common reason why landlords lose is because they don't take the correct legal arguments when they go to court. So when you file your case to evict a tenant, make sure you don't make these 3 mistakes. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.